be, oh no, my screen is way over there, so there's a way to do that. Hopefully y'all can hear me. There we go. Screen is back to where it's supposed to be. Now I've got audio. I'm assuming I've got excuse me, I'm assuming I've got audio on here working. Let's temporarily pause that. Trying to read your phone is terrible with the VR headset. It's totally blurry. And you can see her. I've got audio. Good. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, man, you can't read a phone. So that's good. Otherwise the headset's got to come off. So kind of my biggest issue has been keeping this thing positioned on my head in the sweet spot so that I can see things as clearly as possible on the screen. All right, let's go back to VR. Okay. And I think the other thing with this that's different, pardon me, I'm viewing a virtual screen in the VR rather than my TV. And I think in this mode, while you're streaming, it will not show you your camera like I would typically see my camera overlaid. So I don't see that. It's unclear to me. I guess we'll see in a minute here if anybody comments whether it's going to flash on my screen. I kind of really don't know. I do have the audio feedback. Well, you guys can hear that too for live stream. So my plan here is to just kind of mess around with this, and if anybody has questions or wants to see what's going on, I did a short video earlier, just like a quick live stream capture that of the VR replay mode, which is super trippy. So the one thing that I'll just say right off the bat with the PSVR, and I've watched a bunch of videos now, and now I've raced I don't know, 3 or 4 races and gone to the VR showroom. Any attempts really to try to describe how this looks and feels is gonna probably fall short. You kind of have to experience it to really understand it. Maybe like watching a 3D movie is probably as close as it is, but it's like I think the closest description I can say is it is like I'm going to take these off for a second so I can check who's texting me. It's like being inside the game. Like you're transported inside the game. It's a trip. All right, stand by 1 second while I make sure everything's cool. Oh, get this back on my head. Like I think I mentioned, maybe my mic wasn't active yet. This is like the trickiest part of this whole thing. I did go back and calibrate the interpupillary distance. I think that's the right terminology. And that's helping. But what seems to be really the most sensitive part of getting the setup right is where these things sit on my face. And it might be because I'm wearing glasses. So everything's got to like line up exact. Plus I'm wearing progressive glasses. So that's not really helping me because I already have one sweet spot that I have to hit with the glasses. And now it's like these have to line up with that sweet spot. So it's a little tricky, but I will say, like, from where I started in the first 10 minutes, this is way better. It's becoming way better. So I'm gonna we're gonna go into the VR showroom. I'm trying to ease myself into VR here as well because I've never done VR and I don't want to get sick to my stomach. I will admit I did take a low, non-drowsy Dramamine about an hour ago, just to be on the safe side of things. And then let's go to this one. Oh, I need to find my controller. There it is. So this button that takes you in and out of VR is super handy. Let's get the controller signed in. Rotate camera. I'll probably not memorize all of these. You can change the lighting. And then lights. All right, let's just jump in. I'll fumble through it. So what you see is, I've seen it on a bunch of videos, and it's this nice flat 2D image. And I'm going to move around the car, and I'm telling you, what you see in VR is, it looks like I am standing, not quite in real life. It's different because everything is so perfect, and the VR display is not, it's not as sharp and high resolution as your TV. So you do kind of notice, I mean, some people are calling it a blurriness, and I'd say that that's probably a pretty accurate description. It looks more like somebody else had used this description, that it's more like you're looking at a 720 screen, which I think is pretty accurate. But the experience of this, let me see, how do I change? That's it. So the left stick, I can go lower, and what you're seeing in real life may not be impressive, but I'm telling you, this feels like I am like on the floor of a garage, and I am looking at a car. I mean, I know I'm not looking at a car, but that's really what it feels like. It does feel like you could reach out and actually touch the stuff, and then if you try, you very quickly realize you look like an idiot. I didn't catch that. So I'm just going to move around this car. So this feels like if you were like sitting on a stool with rollers, and you're just rolling around your killer Mustang. So what's funny is, so far the cars that I'm trying to move my way around here, learn my way around. The cars that I've looked at in VR so far have been, what did I start with? The BMW M3. Oh, I've got the lights on. There we go. Turn signals, lights, on and off. Other turn signal. So far, the cars that I have viewed in either the showroom here or raced with.
I tried to order a VR yesterday night and it bugged out on me, said there was an error and couldn't place the order, and then got charged Twic.
Oh no. Well, hopefully they square that away. Yeah, I don't know what their sales are like. I'll be honest, man. I kind of panicked a little bit a week and a half ago when I started seeing the reviews for Gran Turismo, and I thought, holy cow, man, like, I don't want to miss out now, and this looks amazing. So I ended up pulling the trigger. So it's really hard to try to describe what this looks like. It really does look like you're inside the video game, and that this is a three-dimensional object. So what I was trying to say is, I think I've only been in 3 cars now in VR. I kind of want to go over to that workbench.
Exactly why I wanted to get one.
Yeah, I kind of... I pulled the trigger quickly, but I happened to get very lucky that the same day I also sold, and I sold a moped I had been trying to sell for quite some time, and it just worked out that somebody wanted it at my asking price, which coincidentally was almost the exact same price as the PSVR2, so it worked out for me. So walking around is done with the stick. I haven't found a quicker way to move around here, and it also moves extremely slowly. Floor looks like a floor, and it does look like I am Can I get all the way over there? No. So I am limited in as to how far away from the car I can get, apparently. But like everything's just,
Nice
it's all
timing with the
3D.
sail low.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect because I. But then after I purchased it, I was like, man, that's a lot of money. What if this thing is not great? Anyway, all that aside, so back to my story about what cars I've been in. So it started with the 1989 BMW M3, which is an awesome car. But as soon as I loaded it in 3D, it was like looking at a car I've owned, because I have owned a 1989 BMW 325i convertible, just a run-of-the-mill slow car. Happened to be
My
white.
dream car is a 88 meter 3.
Oh, nice. Yeah, good choice. But since I'm very familiar with that car and the body lines and what it's like to stand next to it, I was like, holy cow, this feels like I'm standing next to this car. And then it was same with the interior, and you recognize all the interior parts and the layout, and it's weird to experience it with a car that you've basically been in. Not an M3, but the body, it's an E30, so a lot of it's, let's call it 80% the same, and cosmetically, somewhere around there too. The next car I got into was the Mazda Miata Roadster. I think it's also an 89 or a 91, I can't remember now. But look at that spare wheel in the back. Let's check that out. Let's see, there's got to be a faster way. There we go. And then press the right stick, I can go up and we can look down into there. This is just a trip, man. It's like I'm on a ladder or something now. So the second car being a Miata, that also happened to be a car. I've owned a 2002 Miata, an NB, in real life, but a friend of mine had an NA that I drove significantly, so I was very familiar with that car,
Yeah,
interior and
E30s
exterior.
are the same pretty much, and it's crazy how good
Yeah.
the scale is. Wow.
Yeah, dude, that kind of threw me off. Like, I guess maybe it shouldn't have thrown me off, but the proportionally, like the dimensions, everything feels like you're in real life, and it's really just strange. Okay, I'm trying to get used to navigating here and talking. So that was the second car I was in was another car I had experience with in real life, and then I jumped in this one for just a solo race, the Ford Mustang GT350 Shelby. And then once I started driving and looking around the interior, I immediately remember, like, it felt so familiar because the very first car I owned was a 67 Mustang, just another run-of-the-mill Mustang, but like the interior is very, very similar. The seats are very similar. The steering wheel, the dashboard, it's all really similar. Let's see, how do I get in the car? There. Actually, this dash is a little bit different layout, but just where you're sitting, looking around, the glove box, the mirror, all of it, like it's just the door handles. It just feels like you're in the car, although it is drifting a bit now, and I don't know why. Yeah, it's a trip, man. Like, watching this on YouTube does not come anywhere close to conveying what this looks and feels like here. It's just so weird. Like, you feel like you can reach out and turn the key, but turns out you can't do that. Yeah, what else can we do here? Let's get out of here because that's kind of tripping me out. Yeah, I feel it like drifting around a little bit. I want to kind of like, let's see, how low can I get and still be able to see like this exhaust. That's it. Okay, I bottomed out. But like, you look at the, okay, we got drum brakes on this guy. You can see the leaf springs under there. And like moving my head around actually kind of works to change the angle. It's so hard to really convey this, but you can tell here. I mean, I can be just shifting back and forth here, not even shifting. Everything just is three-dimensional. And that's the thing I think people are missing when you're watching these videos. So now, is it worth $550? I mean, that's up to you.
Have you tried the place where you paint your car?
No, I haven't. Well, let's go there and see if there's any VR stuff in there. But you can see the caliper here. You could see where the brake fluid, you can see the brake lines. It's just a trip, man. You see it all the way in there. It's bizarre. I can see the
It's pretty cool.
what do you call it? The manufacturing, not scoring, just the manufacturing, when they turn a rotor, that's what it looks like. It's been on a lathe. I don't know. It's just wild. Oh, these are fiberglass tires too, original fiberglass cord. I mean, the attention to detail is just kind of mind-boggling. But yeah, we'll go over to I don't even remember what it's called here. What's hanging down? Oh wow,
Detail is bonkers.
dude, it really is. It's just so bizarre. You can see the horns. The steering wheel horn. That's, if you're not familiar, that's what that is. You can see the hood pins. I can see what looks like a 9/16 nut holding the hood pins in. This is so bizarre how detailed these cars are, because I guess, when you're playing the game, you're not really looking for that, but it looks like Phillips head screws holding in that side marker. Oh yeah, definitely Phillips head. I wonder if they got, oh my gosh, they actually do. Look at this. This is crazy.
All our time played now is just gonna be looking at cars.
It might be for a while. I'm kind of okay with that, but all of the castings in this headlight are there. Okay, now I gotta go to the back because I want to see the tail light. Do they have the Department of Transportation markings? No, I don't see that there. What a joke. I'm just kidding. I did kind of expect to see the little DOT stampings there, but I mean, the detail is ridiculous. All right, let's get out of here. Right? Totally. I want my money back. All right, now I gotta figure out how to navigate. All right. So now I'm seeing a virtual screen. I am not seeing any of your messages pop up, so I'm just relying on audio only for this. Where am I going? Not the tuning shop. GT Auto, that's where I wanted to go. So let's see if are there any virtual. Do I see VR on here? I don't. Well, let's see what happens if I want to paint it. Boy, I do not want that color. And it doesn't look like there's any VR functionality in here that I can see. Because it's been pretty obvious so far where a VR function is, but we should go visit this garage because it's kind of a trip when you're in this garage. You see these guys working.
Maybe the wide body area. Gotta be yellow.
Where is that? Yes, it's got to be yellow. You got that right. Where do you do a wide body? I don't even remember. Is that in the tuning shop? Probably. I like to drive in this game. I only spend as much time in these areas as is necessary for league races, so I don't get yelled at.
First area.
First area.
Oil change area.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see any VR indication here. Yeah. Yeah, my vision's getting a little... Oh, yep, there we go. Hold on. It's like it slides down my face by a millimeter, but you don't notice, and then it starts getting blurry, and then your vision is just getting jacked up. But I definitely have to move my head
Dang,
around.
there's a VR area. How you get it though?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest issue I'm having is trying to keep a clear picture. And it's like, I already have a sweet spot in my progressive lens glasses. So I have to like line that up. So I'm moving my head more than I'm moving just my eyes, which, to be fair, is what I'm doing in real life. Like I'm constantly doing this to like read stuff on a computer. I have to lift my head up so I can see out of the lower part of my glasses. It's fun getting old. Let's see. We went to the showroom. We'll show you this. I thought this was super fun. I discovered this one earlier. So your showcase while you're wearing VR.
Hey,
Cafe. Let's go to cafe. All right. And we'll go back to this. Let's see. Hey, Tom. What's under my collection? I don't see any indication of VR in here. I'm just going to let this play to see if it does anything or gives me an option. Yeah, that if I can keep these things, keep this headset in the right spot, everything looks clear. Again, it is not as high resolution as a 4K TV. Maybe as high as a 1080p TV. It's hard to say. Yeah, let's get out of here. This is all just the standard stuff. It seems to me they make it pretty obvious where the VR functionality lies. And there, I just moved my head around a little bit. I haven't really felt motion sick yet. Let's just try this, dude. Nah, this is all. All right, Sarah, can we just get me through here?
super glue it to your head.
Right? Oh, come on. How do I back out? Thank you. That's how you back out. So let's see what else. I was going to show you, if you go under showcase.
How is the weight?
The weight's not bad.
Here.
No, the weight, it feels very comfortable on my head. I have not played for like an hour. It's only been on my head for maybe 30 minutes, something like that. Maybe a little more, not much more though. Yeah, trying to keep this in the right spot. So it feels comfortable. The one mistake I made yesterday, the first 5 minutes that I was playing around with it, because they tell you to like extend this part of it that has the lenses in it. So I did that, and then you extend the back part, you get it on your head, you do all this stuff. Well, I never like pushed it back in to get it tight to my face. So it was probably like out to here. It was a good inch out, and everything was loose, and I felt like this might not work out. And then, but I only spent 5 minutes on it. Then I went away for a while. And while I was away, and I was kind of reading up on because the blurriness concerned me. And then it was clear from what I read, you really have to get the alignment and the calibration correct and takes some time. So once I did that and came back home, I came back home, realized that this was sticking out way too far, so pushed that in right up against my glasses, and then toyed around with finding this up and down alignment. Got those two to where it felt like, okay, that's good, and I had it cranked down pretty tight, so it's not going to shift around much. And then dialed in the IPD, with the dial, wherever it is. This is weird. And it's been better, but it's still, like, I can't stress enough. It's, if you're expecting it to be like you're in a movie or you're watch like the same sort of fidelity or resolution as a 4K TV, it is not. So let's pull up a different replay. Let's do this Red Bull Ring. That one, oh, that's not a replay. Hold on, where's the replay for that? We can do this good one. Good wood. So you've got, normal replay menu here, but then when you go to here and you do a VR replay, then it's giving you the option for background music, but I think I just have all my background music turned off in the game, or not all of it. All the replay background music is turned off, so none of this should matter. But now here's where it gets pretty crazy. Let's see if can I pause? Can't tell what button is what. No, hold on. Shoot. Hang on, let me locate the right button here. There we go. I forgot where they were on here. All right. Told you it's going to be a little clunky. So let's play.
Gotta drive the new Honda F1 car in VR when you're done showing us this.
Oh yeah, okay, sweet. You can actually pause. So can I walk around though? No, you can't walk around. So you're stationary, but you're on the track. It is like you're standing on the track. So let's let this roll, and then so what happens is, I don't know how many different viewpoints there are, and you don't have the option to change them, or at least I haven't figured out how to change them. So I'm going to let this roll. So it automatically is changing the viewpoint. I'm not doing anything with this. So you can watch the cars go by, changes to a new viewpoint, but it's like you're inside the video game. So I can look anywhere. And then every once in a while, I did this earlier, the camera puts you like literally on the track, and the cars drive straight through your perspective.
500 Earl my dad has in a Abarth, I'm jealous.
Oh, yes. Nice. So here we go. This should be, we're like, it's trippy, man. So I imagine they'll modify this as well. The one thing that I've noticed is that while viewing this, and maybe it's because the distances like of the cars, and it's messing with my depth perception a little bit, that it feels like I'm watching everything, but if I turn my head like that, I'm getting double vision. It's like my eyes are tracking the displays in the headset.
Simulator.
Yes, totally. Oh, this is a good spot. Where are we? But I can tell it, like I can see the cars start to look like two images. The names above the cars look like two images. They start to separate the closer that they get to me. Where is everybody? This is a weird cut. There we go. It's pretty cool though. The other thing I haven't figured out is why the names of the drivers are not over every car. They're only over some of the cars. Hey, look, a helicopter. And some airplanes. And then I keep bumping the steering wheel or my mic boom stand. Yeah. See these guys over here? Hey, what's up? It's a real trippy way to watch a replay. I'll tell you that. So far, it hasn't put me literally on the track, and in the path of traffic.
Can you go first person?
I don't think so. Let's try it. Let's see if... No. So it doesn't... Well, let me just randomly press buttons. Except that one. Let me try it again. No, I think it's just... Oh, did that? Or was that just coincidentally? Yeah. It seems like nothing is active. You can't do anything in VR replay other than watch or leave. I take that back. You can pause. I did that earlier. So you can pause and really that's it. Pause and leave. You cannot change view. But this seems like this is, a first iteration of this feature. That's kind of cool though. When I pause it like that, everything looks very clear again. So I think it's just my eyes are having trouble with some of the tracking. But yeah, it's too bad you can't move around. You do get to stop time, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, as these cars are driving by, I've got double vision, and then when I pause, it comes back, and it does seem pretty clear here. But again, it is not nearly as clear as like watching this on my 4K TV. And
A lot of people saying the graphics are grainy.
yeah, it's hard to describe. I mean, it is kind of grainy and that like screen door effect that I've heard people talk about. I am seeing that. But it's not significant enough that I'm like focused on it or feel like I have to look through it. The best description I think is that it's like instead of a 4K resolution, it's like it feels more like you're looking at 720 or 1080p resolution. So you can kind of start to see, I don't want to use the word pixelated because it's definitely not that drastic, but you can just tell it's not as sharp. It's like when we all went from, 1080p monitors to 4K monitors, and you're like, oh, that's what that looks like. And then you go back and you're like, oh, like, yeah, I can still read everything. I can see everything fine. It's just not nearly as sharp. All right, let's see. What else can we look at? Try driving, I guess. Let me get out of here.
Just turn off your film grain in your settings.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. There we go. Yeah, the screen like kind of drifts. The virtual screen drifts over time. So you kind of have to, when you hold down the option button, it moves the screen back to being aligned with the VR headset. And it's a little disorienting when it's like the screen's supposed to be here and it feels like it's over here and you're kind of glancing down and trying to look, or you're moving your head, and it just feels weird. So I feel like I'm aligned with my wheel again. Let's try doing something in here. Let me set this controller down here. There we go. Everybody good here? You know what? Let me just double check here. I got several people trying to get in touch with me. Oh, really? Okay. Huh. Weird. All right. Let me get that back on. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Everything is shifted way off now. So where are we at? There we go. That's better. Yeah, it's a trip. I don't know Grand Valley well enough, so I'm not going to mess with that yet. So let's try... Road Atlanta. I know that one somewhat well. I've not done this one. What is this? 3 laps, 550. All right, let's try it, but I want to see if I can I put racing tires on? Let's just do this. I'm at close to 500 pp. That should be enough to at least be somewhat competitive. Probably won't be a win.
Go-kart.
All right, there we go. I don't think I can try the go-kart. Doing the go-kart and regular driving, jeez. Okay, hold on. So I was actually startled there because as I'm driving, I saw the avatar arm, shoot out to shift, and it was a little disorienting because as I look down, like I feel like I'm looking at me, although 30 pounds lighter. It's just weird and bizarre and disorienting, to be honest with you.
Jump scare.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird, man. It's so hard. I've not heard anybody describe it like to the point where it's like, oh, okay, now I get what that is. Like you kind of have to do it to really get what this feels like. The one thing I'll say, and because once I get driving, I'll get distracted. One of the first things I noticed when in driving is that the way the car pitches forward and back as you brake seems so much more exaggerated than being in bumper cam. It's like it's completely different, which I could see how that would help you brake better and judge things better. Like I noticed as you're picking things out on the track, reference points, that seems way easier to do. Your sense of speed seems you're just getting a much better sense and better feedback. And then the other thing is because of that, I feel like you can like carry more speed into turns or as you're going toward a car because you have a better sense of really how fast you're going, where you're going to drift off track, if you're going to run into a car.
God, I want a VR so bad now.
It's wild stuff, man. But yeah, so far I would just say the biggest downside to it is dialing in the sweet spot, and the fact that even when you have dialed in the sweet spot, it's still not going to be as pristine and detailed as your 4K TV. Oh boy. That's the other, like, it's hard to describe.
Tomahawk later, lol.
Oh brother, I'm trying to stay away from super fast cars until I get my VR legs under me. Oh boy, yeah, so, okay, let's pause it there. Definitely felt motion sickness right there. Not sickness, that's not the right word. But, so this whole like sensing the body roll, because you can see the body pitch and body roll left and right. Somehow it's transferring into like my body and brain that I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that sense of weight like sending me forward. Like you're feeling that the car is actually moving. And I don't really know how that's happening other than the visuals. I feel like some of the feedback, the force feedback is also in haptics, and I haven't even noticed the headset haptics. I'm pretty sure it's happening, but it's so subtle that you don't really like feel like your head's being rattled, if that makes sense. All right, let's try to pick this up and at least get a lap in here before I probably need to take the headset off and take a short break. Oh boy, I did not prepare for that. Oh, wow. Okay, felt the
it's where the
haptics.
Changes.
Oh brother. Okay. Man, that was brutal. Well, I'll be on the track by myself now. That's fine. Yeah, the other thing I'm trying to get used to is because I have always driven in bumper cam, so viewing the tachometer.
To a hydraulics and racing system now.
I know it might make me more sick. Yeah, so my only tack is I think you can see me staring at it. That's my only tachometer. And it's in a weird place, which I get it. In a real car, that is where it would be and what you'd have to reference. But I'm just so used to bumper cam, and it's like kind of in my peripheral vision all the time. And now it's not. So have I judged that correctly? So modulating brakes is just, and like picking your apex and understanding where your wheel is actually driving is just so different now. But man, the sense of weight, of your weight shifting when it's not, is a little weird. But you can totally tell how the car is reacting. Like, to me, this is like that's probably a penalty.
A strap that goes over the crown off your head to better support the weight.
Yeah, it could be, man. I feel like you can get this thing pretty tight. It's just and I don't. Oh, brother, yeah, that's tough. It's like, I think what it is it does have a tendency to shift somewhat, but even when it doesn't shift and it's still in the sweet spot, you're not sure because you're not, it's not as sharp as you are used to seeing, if that makes sense. So you're always kind of like second guessing.
Will work on GT7?
I know that it doesn't. I know that the PSVR1 does not work on GT7. It'll work on GT Sport in limited fashion, but yeah, it definitely will not work. I know I read that several times. Yeah. Yep. And it does require, that's the other, well, probably, yeah, the biggest drawbacks here, besides what I mentioned with how it looks, trying to dial in a sweet spot, seeing this fake arm that's not me, is you do need a PS5. You need a PS5, and yeah, none of the older hardware, PSVR hardware, will not work. All right, let's see if I can get through this at least lap here. Yeah, the weight shifting. Thanks, man. The weight shifting is probably the most bizarre part of this and unexpected. And maybe it's just I'm getting used to it. It's just so weird that as you're turning and braking, especially as you're turning, like if you're braking and trying to trail brake, I've run out of gear. The sense that you're like moving with the car is just, it's weird and kind of, oh boy. It's funny you mentioned that. I missed my braking point by a mile. I've never been a fan of drifting in this game, because I feel like it's just, I don't play on a controller and I don't really fully understand the principles. But I was thinking that in a previous race, as I, unintentionally drifted around a turn, it was way easier to like control it. Like, normally I probably would have run into a car because I can't actually see my car. And there it was like, it's just much easier to see how far away I am from the car. Where is he? There we go. And it's weird that you gotta like actually check your mirrors. But it's easier to like maintain your distance. Huh. Yeah, I should just get in a Miata and learn how to do it. But like, I feel like trying to trail a car like this is so much easier because you really can like judge the distance here. I mean, I'm like on its bumper here and I feel like I'm in total control. Get out of my way, dude. I think he's got more power than me. I'm at like 499 pp. It's a 550 race, so I'm probably not gonna catch him.
The scale is really well done.
Yeah, it is, man. It's wild. Oh, there's a little jump there with the headset. I don't think I'm going to be able to dive bomb him here. Yeah, some modulating brakes feels way better in here. Get in there. Yes.
Did you order your VR on PS Direct?
Yes, I did. I ordered it directly from Sony. I pre-ordered probably... This is so disorienting. So I'm looking at the steering wheel and seeing it move and expecting my steering wheel to move, and then I'm looking for my PS button. It's weird. Yes, I ordered it through Sony or through PlayStation, their website, approximately 10 or 11 days ago, I think, something like that. Yeah, it's kind of fun driving these, somewhat lower power, like not race cars, and also with stock-ish suspensions. I assume, I actually don't remember what I have on that car, but you could see it, maybe you can't see it. I can see it pitching front and back and rolling left and right. It just seems so much more exaggerated. It just seems like what it would look like in a real car. But if you're used to racing in GT whatever, in bumper cam or hood cam or something, it's not the same sense. It's hard. It's really hard to describe. I'm struggling. I've said that a couple of times, but it's just difficult to really understand like the scale of that kind of stuff. And this weird phenomenon, and maybe it's just me, but this phenomenon of
E30
of weight. Hang on, I hit the wrong one.
low power nice car.
Did you say E30? I'm trying to. There we go. You can't even see it, so this is weird. It's trying to keep my head in both things here, be able to talk to you guys and manage my way through. So I was trying to hold the option down to realign my virtual screen in front of my face, so you can see that pop up because that's what the option key would do, but holding it down. Okay, let's see. All right, let's find.
I've heard on other VR units, glasses can scratch the lenses if they contact.
Yeah, if they get too close. I think I've got I know I've got like anti-scratch. Whoops, what happened there? Something popped out. I have like anti-scratch coating on mine, so hopefully that'll help protect it. Let's try this. Change car. 550, what am I at? 579, well, I should dominate. And now watch me not. I won't feel bad if I don't dominate, because there's going to be a bit of a learning curve, I think, to this. Yeah, I'm trying to get it lined back up here. So it's like blurry, super blurry right there. Getting better, and then right about there is good. And then if I go too far, it starts getting blurry again. But like the difference between this,
had one on the past.
Yeah, this.
Scratch the lenses in the VR unit.
Oh, got you. Okay. Well, I would think that anti-scratch would, soften the blow, but who knows? I'll have to just keep an eye on that. I don't think they're touching. Well, I know they're not touching. The lens is not touching, but I'm sure it's very, very close. I mean, let's see. Where is that button? Here it is. Let me try to carefully. Yeah, that's like one notch out. That's actually more comfortable too. Let's see if I can get it as clear. That's not bad. That's probably the same. It's so hard to tell. It really is hard because you're so used to looking at a 4K image, or at least I am. And now I'm not. But yeah, looking closely, like I can definitely see that there are pixels there. But let's try it. This might actually be better overall. I'm noticing like a little bit more shaking though here. Like maybe it's because it's just not as tight to my head. One click there. Oh, is this going to be in the rain? I don't know about this. I don't care. I'll just exit it if it ends up being in the wet. Oh yeah, I see it now. It really, yeah, I feel like I'm slightly off center. Yeah, I am. It's weird. So I'm having to look to my left, probably 5 degrees, to be looking forward in the car. I'm not sure what happened. I probably just need to reset something. But viewing your apexes and your curbs, I haven't noticed so much with the braking markers, but while you're turning, your like frame of reference of where stuff is, like where's this guy going? Okay, go that way. It's just the tracks just look different. Like you're used to all this stuff on here, but now it's in 3 dimensions. Your reference points, everything just feels very different. Where's that rain gauge? Yeah, this is going to turn into a wet race on hard tires, racing tires, so I'll end up spinning out probably. Oh, there we go. Save it? Nope. Yeah, sort of. Feel like if I was in bumper cam, I would have been facing the other direction. I can see this guy in my rearview mirror. Going for it? Yes-ish. Yeah, so something happened where...
lighting in your room is too dark for the tracking.
It might be. It could be. I'm not sure what it is. Like, everything was good before, and now I feel like it's just not straight on. Oh boy, that's too late in the rain. Yeah, I feel like, whoopsies. Trail braking? Look out. Hey, thanks. I don't know if you could see that. That's the second time I noticed something like that. When he hit me, debris went flying, and you probably could catch it if you rolled the video back too, you'll be able to see it. And I noticed that in another race I did where like rubber marbles, where they collect and turn sometimes.
Jesus, that was terrifying.
And it just went flying. But I have never caught something like that in a race, like in bumper cam. It's just not nearly the same. I will also say that this dash looks completely familiar, because I currently drive an E46 and BMW's like kind of carried a lot of their dashboards over and stuff. I also owned an E34 and an E30, so like this all looks very familiar. But I'm also seeing this weird sort of, maybe it is tracking. Maybe I need to redo the eye tracking. Yeah, it's weird. Oh boy, I don't know what that was. Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe it is too dark in here. Maybe I need some more light because it seems to be struggling with keeping everything nice and lined up. But what I was trying to say is this interior of this car looks exactly like the interior of cars I've owned. Like I'm totally familiar with everything in here. These seats, door handles, yeah, I guess so. Even like the mirror adjuster on that door handle, this is all totally familiar. The vents, the AC controls, it's just weird. Even the steering wheel. It's bizarre. Okay, let's see if I can salvage anything from here. Probably not. 2 of 3. Yeah, that's a lot of water. I don't even know where to brake anymore with all this rain. Let's see if these guys can take each other out. Bye. Oh man, that was weird. I have not noticed the drivers looking back at you, but I think you probably could see it plainly in there. You can see the driver. Oh, this guy's diving by me.
I would kill for
Let me
an
hold
E30.
him. Oh no. Well, let's look at the track from this angle.
And a V10.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'd like to have another E30 again. All right. That crashing is not helping my stomach. So I would not say I'm getting motion sickness, but definitely feeling some of the effects there. Maybe it's just of being in VR for this amount of time. So I'll probably take a break here shortly, because that is what I've heard multiple times is you don't want to try to push through motion sickness. That you really just need to take a break and kind of work your way into it, which is what I plan to do. I'm not going to push it. So yeah, I'm actually starting to feel it a little bit here. So we're gonna pause it there and exit and get out of this. And hopefully my mic keeps working. Back to the real world. Yeah, it's gotten. Yeah, let me stop moving. I hope. You should. Yeah, it thinks it's on my head. Well, it is on my head, but it thinks I'm looking through it. Looks like it's back to VR. That's weird. That's what that looks like. So, at least I know the mic should be working here. Yeah, can't track surroundings. Yeah, check the brightness of your room. So that's definitely a factor. I'll have to make sure I've got a little bit more ambient light in this room. This room is pretty dark though. Typically when I'm gaming, except for this ring light for streaming. Yeah. Yeah, now that I'm back in the real world with this, being able to see, I feel a little bit better. I was definitely, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, that's like a 1 for motion sickness. Like, you're starting to feel like, oh, okay, yeah, I feel a little like I've been swaying back and forth. So not like I gotta go lay down. But I am gonna call it there for now, just because I don't want to push it. And well, let's see if I can get this back in. Sorry if you were. I didn't hear anything if anybody was talking, so let's book out of here. That's weird that this is what it looks like here. Actually, I'm gonna do it this way because I want to get my 26.2 miles. Oh, that's bizarre. Okay, well this is a weird way to do it. Look at the 2D screen while you're in 3D. This is worse than cockpit view. The term. Yeah, I'd say the other thing, just trying to get used to the controls. Or not controls, the graphic information that I'm used to seeing in bumper cam is now no longer there. So now it's that you can see the tires and fuel and rain gauge and stuff. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'll get some more going on here, but I definitely do not want to overdo it or push past the limit with the motion sickness. I don't want to figure out where that limit is, so I'm going to go easy with it. So yeah, hopefully this helped explain some of the VR from my perspective. You can drop any other questions. Let's just pause this. Any other questions, comments in there, and I can try to answer those and try doing some more. Yeah, I haven't even come close to like trying to do a lobby race or a daily race even. I think that might be several days off, just because I want to ease into this and not get sick. I've had motion sickness from a video game once, and it was terrible. Like, I was out of commission for kind of like the rest of the day, and that was from trying to play Minecraft with my kid like last summer. I say kid, she's an adult, but I tried to, like, that's her video game, we did split screen, and I don't know if it was the split screen that throwed me off. Yeah, let's do that. This might be a good one. But yeah, Minecraft. Playing Minecraft for like 20 minutes gave me motion sickness to the point where I told her like, I'm so sorry. I wanted to do this and hang with you, but I can't do it. And literally for the rest of that entire day, I felt those effects. And I got through my day, and not like I was debilitated, but it absolutely affected me for the entire day. All right, let's see what we got. Not an invite, not an invite. That wasn't much better. I don't know. Okay. Yay, I guess. All right, I'm going to call it there for
I
now.
played for like 4 or 5 hours straight.
Oh, really? I'm not there. I've never played VR before, so I think and maybe I could. I just feel like, well, also I have other stuff that I actually have to do. I'm playing with a band tomorrow night, and I've got to prep for that and practice and just get organized. So it's kind of nice. I can kind of go back and forth. But I may jump on later, or we'll see how it goes. But thanks for checking it out. Remember, drop any questions, anything else about this, if I can try it again next time and go somewhere in particular, or somebody discovers some new features, that'll be cool. But otherwise, we will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.